Welcome. In this brief tutorial, we're going to walk step by step through the process of assembling the RAM Tough Tray 2 Universal Device Cradle so it fits and holds your seal safely and securely. Here in front of me, you can see a variety of pieces. Great news, you're not going to need most of them. So first, let's go ahead and take off the table what we don't need. We don't need these shorter clips here. We don't need any of these angle clips here, the long ones or the short ones. So let's go ahead and take those out of the way here. And we also don't need these 4 silicone grips. These won't be necessary for this application. So first part of this process, as far as actually getting the tray put together, we need to install the springs and put tension on them. First thing, let's go ahead and flip over our main assembly here. And let's flip over the tray that goes with it. You can tell that the arm is upside down because you can see this channel here in the bottom. That's where the springs are going to go. Spring number 1 goes in. Spring number 2 goes in right here through the end. And you can spin those so that those fit together. All right. Now that we have that, I'm going to slide this in quite a ways. Grab a Phillips head screwdriver. And I'm going to compress that spring down past this countersunk hole here inside. As I do that, I'm going to grab my shorter screw and I'm going to use that to hold the spring in place. All right. Now that I have this here, I'm holding the spring in using that screw. I'm going to take my silver screw here, take my Phillips head screwdriver, I'm going to screw that right down inside. So we now have our spring-loaded tray. First, we need to put these 4 clips together. So as I look at this long clip here, there's an accompanying metal clip for each of them. I can see here, if I want to flip this over until I see this little dot raised up here on the side, you can see that's going to align to the dot here on the metal bracket. I'm going to slide this into the channel until it clips. We'll go ahead and continue and do the other 3 in the same way. So let's move on to the next step. We're going to make sure that the cradle is oriented in a way that I can read the text normally without it being upside down. Let's do what is the left-hand side first. So the left-hand side is going to receive a bracket here and a second one here. This is to accommodate the seal ports. So I got my screw here, and then we'll get this nut installed here on the back side. Just going to give it a couple of quick twists. So now I can use my thumb to hold that nut in place, grab my screwdriver. There we go. So you can see here I have a loose installation. Again, we're going to tighten it down here to the device in a second. So here we go on our second side of the tray. Pretty much the same process. A little bit different just because these channels here are actually easier to keep the nut in. So again, you want to keep the white side away from the screw. So the white side is going to face me. Drop that down into the channel. Take my screw. Again, we're going to go ridges to ridges. And we're just going to give it a couple of quick turns. Here's our 4 arms. You can see we have installed very loosely. Make sure that our arms here that are on the wider side are going with our ports. Let's go ahead and do these first, and then we'll just tighten it down. So now I have the first side of the device done here. Now we're just going to go ahead and rotate, and we're going to complete the same process we did on the other side. So we have our brackets installed, the arms here on both the left and right hand side. We're going to take our seal. Remember that the hand strap is unvelcroed. See how tightly and securely it holds it here on the port side. Now let's make sure we get these tightened down properly here on the accessory end. So I'm going to loosen that up just so I can fully get it. Push that down. Now I can see here, if I look, I want to make sure that all 4 of my clips are touching down on the exterior of the device. You can see here now that I've reached the same point I have with my demo unit, for holding the seal securely. Spring-loaded release. If I want to take the seal out, put it back in. There we go. So there we are. That is the Ram Tough Tray 2 Universal Cradle, adopted and assembled specifically for the Rugged Seal tablet.